What if I told you that the only difference between who you are right now and who you want to be is how well you can lie to yourself? I know it sounds insane. Your whole life, you've been told that lying is wrong, only bad people do it, and honesty is the ultimate virtue. But here's what nobody's told you before. What if the right kind of lie is the only way to reprogram your reality? Before you get the wrong idea, this isn't about being fake or inauthentic. This is about understanding something powerful. Belief doesn't wait for evidence. Evidence follows belief. And once you understand how to use that principle, everything changes. If it's the first time we meet, my name is Fred, and I've reprogrammed my mind for success so that I could build a business that's made me thousands of dollars a day in profit. It's allowed me to travel the world and only have to work a few hours a day if I want. But look, I need to get real with you for a second, because things weren't always like this. The truth is, I come from a low middle class family. My dad's a nurse, my mom a nursing assistant. They're good people, hard workers, but I grew up watching them trade time for money their whole lives. And somewhere deep in my mind, I internalized this limiting belief that I couldn't be the confident, successful man I wanted to be. So for 7 months straight, I procrastinated starting my business. I'm talking about the simplest things like posting content, opening up LinkedIn, and reaching out to potential clients. I knew what I needed to do, but I just couldn't get myself to do it because it didn't align with who I believed I was. Nothing ever changed until one of my mentors told me something that completely shifted my perspective. He said I had to become a different version of myself. I had to see myself from a third-person perspective, as if I were a character in a video game. Not the character I'd been playing my whole life, but the character I wanted to become. That's when everything clicked. I wasn't stuck because I lacked the strategy or the skills. I was stuck because I was operating from the wrong identity. So let's talk about the psychology of self-deception. Because here's the truth. Every transformation starts with a delusion. You're not trying to deceive others here. You're overriding your brain's outdated code. Think about it like this. Your brain operates on something called confirmation bias. It only sees what it already believes is true. That's exactly why two people can look at the exact same situation and see two completely different things. Your brain is literally filtering reality through your existing beliefs. So to see something new, you have to believe something new first, even if it feels completely fake at the beginning. Lying to yourself is just the process of uploading new software into your mind. You're not broken, you're just running an old programming. You know, when we were kids, playing make-believe was the easiest thing in the world. We'd put on a white coat and glasses and boom, we were a doctor. We'd grab a toy badge and suddenly we were cops chasing down thieves. We didn't question it. We didn't need external evidence. We just became it because we wanted to be it. That ability to step into a new identity without overthinking it is pure power. But somewhere along the way to adulthood, we lost that. Society told us to be realistic, to stay in our lane, to stop dreaming and to start accepting that we couldn't dream big because it was pointless. And in the process, we lost our self-belief and sold out our dreams in exchange for a mediocre paycheck. We forgot that the same mechanism that made us doctors and astronauts in our living rooms when we were kids is the exact same mechanism that can make us successful, confident, and wealthy in real life as adults. But here's the good news. You can get that power back. It never left you in reality. You just stopped using it. That childish ability to become someone new is still in there, waiting for you to pick it back up. You just have to give yourself permission to play pretend again. Except this time, the stakes are real and the rewards will actually profoundly change your life. If you want to discover how I've made thousands of dollars a day online, I've made a free training that will show you everything step by step. The link will be in the description. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money, and we'll give you a custom step-by-step plan so you can start your business today, even with $0 in startup capital, and get your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description, but be quick because we have very limited spots and they fill up fast. Now, most people get stuck in the have-do-be trap. You've probably fallen into this without even realizing it. It sounds like this. When I have more time, money, or confidence, then I'll start doing the things I need to do, and then I'll finally become who I want to be. Does that sound familiar? This is what I call the illusion of readiness. You're waiting for some magical moment when the stars align and you finally feel ready. But here's the problem. That moment never comes. That's not self-improvement. That's self-delayed permission. You're basically putting your dreams on a layaway, waiting until you can afford them. But you're never going to feel ready. You're never going to feel like you have enough, like now is the right time. The people who actually win flip the entire script. They become first. This is the be, do, have reversal. And it's the secret that separates people who dream from people who achieve. Instead of waiting to become the person you want to be, you act like the version of you who already has what you want right now, today. When you become the type of person who already deserves it, the world rearranges itself to match you. This is identity-based behavior change. James Clear talks about this in his book Atomic Habits. Getting what you want in life is not about setting goals. It's about deciding who you are. Because here's what happens. When you change your identity, your behaviors automatically follow. And when your behaviors change, your results, your life changes. This isn't exactly fake it till you make it. Because that phrase makes it sound temporary, like you're putting on a costume. But no, this is embody it until it's obvious. This is stepping into the identity so fully that it becomes your natural state of being, who you are. Now I know what you're thinking, because when you first try this, it's gonna feel like you're lying. When you first say, I'm confident, your brain is gonna scream, no you're not confident. Where's that coming from? And that feeling of resistance isn't proof that you're wrong. That's proof that your old identity is dying. That discomfort is the growing pain of transformation. Let me redefine the word lie for you. A lie is just a truth you haven't gathered enough evidence for yet. Think about that. Before you had your first client, saying I'm an entrepreneur felt like a lie, right? Before you hit the gym consistently, saying I'm somebody who's fit felt fake. That's normal. But you had to claim that identity before the evidence to match that identity showed up. And here's the thing that's going to blow your mind. You've been lying to yourself your whole life. You just didn't admit it to yourself. You've told yourself things like, I'm not good enough. I'm unlucky. Life hates me. I'm not smart. I always mess things up. I'm not the type of person who succeeds. Well, those are lies too. They're well-practiced ones. You've just repeated them so many times that they feel true. They feel like that's who you are. But they're not the truth. They're just habits of thought. So if you're going to lie to yourself anyway, why not lie in a direction that serves you? If you want to discover how I've made thousands of dollars a day online, I've made a free training that will show you everything step by step. The link will be in the description. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money, and we'll give you a custom step-by-step plan so you can start your business today, even with $0 in startup capital, and get your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description, but be quick because we have very limited spots and they fill up fast. Let me break down the 3 stages of transformation, because understanding this process makes it way less scary. Stage 1 is the lie. You tell the story of who you want to be before there's any proof of it in your reality. This is the hardest stage because your brain is fighting you. Everything in you wants to reject it because there's no evidence yet. Stage 2 is delusional belief. This is where you act from that identity daily and your actions start creating small wins. Little pieces of evidence start showing up. Maybe someone gives you a compliment that aligns with your new identity. Like for example, you start going to the gym, somebody compliments you on your consistency. Maybe you catch yourself doing something the old you would have never done, eating a salad and not eating dessert. These micro wins start stacking up. Now stage 3 is embodiment. This is when the identity becomes natural. It's no longer just a belief, it's normal. It's who you are. You're not trying to be confident, you are confident. You don't have to force it, it doesn't feel fake or unnatural. You're not trying to be an entrepreneur, you are an entrepreneur. That's how people see you too. The lie has become your lived reality. But here's the key to making this work. You can't just affirm something and sit on your couch. You need to be on the proof through micro evidence. Don't wait for some massive breakthrough. Look for the tiny wins, a compliment from someone, a task you completed, a moment where you showed up differently than you used to. You can start journaling or tracking these moments. Write down every piece of evidence that supports your new identity, no matter how small it might seem. Every time I do this, I'm shocked by what happens after. I just attract more and more abundance because evidence accumulates. And once you have enough of it, belief solidifies. It stops being something you're trying to convince yourself of, and it starts being something you just know, something you are. Let me give you some examples of people you know who mastered this. Muhammad Ali didn't say, I won't be the greatest. He said, I am the greatest. before he had a single championship belt. That wasn't arrogance on his part. That was identity declaration. He lied to himself so convincingly that he became it. Steve Jobs had what people called a reality distortion field. He believed that things were possible that his engineers said were impossible. And you know what happened? He bent timelines with conviction. He made the impossible happen because he operated from an identity of someone who creates the future, not someone who accepts limitations. Let's take another example. Conor McGregor acted like a champion years before he was one. He spoke like a champion, dressed like a champion, carried himself like a champion. People thought he was just delusional, but all he was doing is just living in his future identity before the world caught up. And eventually, reality had no choice but to match his conviction. He's even mentioned the law of attraction publicly before. You see something in your mind first and then it becomes reality. If you want to discover how I've made thousands of dollars a day online, I've made a free training that will show you everything step by step. The link will be in the description. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money, and we'll give you a custom step-by-step plan so you can start your business today, even with $0 in startup capital, and get your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description, but be quick because we have very limited spots and they fill up fast. Now, let's bring some science into this. So you know, I'm not just feeding you some mystical nonsense. Your brain has something called the reticular activating system. It's a filter that decides what information gets through to your conscious awareness. And here's the crazy part. It filters based on what you believe is important. When you change your identity and start believing something new about yourself, your reticular activating system literally starts showing you different things in your environment. Opportunities you would have missed before suddenly become obvious. People you need to meet suddenly appear. Resources you didn't know existed suddenly show up to help you. You're not going insane. You're not creating these things out of thin air. They're not illusions. They were always there. I know it's hard to believe, but they were. Your brain is just now programmed to see them. It's like when you start wanting a certain model of car, then you start seeing it everywhere for some reason. Did it just appear? No. Did people start buying the car you want in mass just to piss you off? No. You just couldn't notice it before because you never paid attention to it. This is also why the placebo effect works. The placebo effect is scientific proof that lying to yourself can heal your body. People take sugar pills thinking they're medicine and their bodies actually heal. How the hell do you explain that? Now that's not magic. That's the power of belief physically restructuring your biology. If belief can heal your body, imagine what it can do for your career, your relationships, and your entire life. Neuroplasticity proves that your brain physically rewires itself based on your thoughts and behaviors. Every time you act from your new identity, you're literally creating new neural pathways. You're not just playing pretend. You're rebuilding your brain on a biological level. So here's what I need you to understand. Reality doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to who you are being. You can want to be rich and successful all day long. Plenty of people do. But if you're somebody who doubts themselves, procrastinates, plays smalls, doesn't do the hard work, that's what reality will reflect back to you. So yes, lie to yourself. Lie until the lie becomes the truth. Because every version of you is a lie until you leave it long enough for it to become real. The person you are right now was once a lie too. You claimed this identity through repetition until it felt normal. The only difference is you did it unconsciously. Now you're going to do it consciously. You're going to choose who you become. So here's your homework, and I'm dead serious about this. Pick one lie that would change your life if it were true. Not 10 lies, just one. Maybe it's I'm someone who takes action immediately. Maybe it's I'm confident in social situations. Maybe it's I'm the kind of person who finishes what they start. Whatever it is, write it down. And starting today, you're gonna act from that identity. Not tomorrow when you feel ready. Not next week when you have more time. Today. Because the person you want to become is waiting for you to stop asking for permission and just step into it. Your old identity will fight you. It won't feel uncomfortable. It won't feel fake at first. But good. That means it's working. That means you're outgrowing your old identity. That means the lie is becoming truth. So go lie to yourself. Lie boldly. Lie consistently. Lie until reality has no choice but to believe you. And that, my friend, is how you bend reality to your will.